sound so hood with this. Boy, I'm just playing.
Yeah, good afternoon to you, Crack City. Good afternoon, lovely listener out there. Yes, you're welcome to another edition of the 100% Woman right here on Royal FM 93.3 Kaduna. You know how we do it right here. We keep it lit and classy. Yeah, this is where music meets conversation, and this is the 100% Woman, where we get to discuss about basically everything pertaining a woman, be it leadership, be it entertainment, be it work, be it career path, whatever it is that has to do with a woman. We talk about it right here on the station. Yes, you're listening to Royal FM 93.3 Kaduna, and I am J to the OWIZA, Joe Wise, the wisest in the building, but you can call me Jokebet Shukonya Solomon. That's my name. Well, I'm not alone in the building today. I am with wonderful women, amazing ladies. Yes, women of tomorrow. When I'm talking about women of tomorrow, I'm talking about women with purpose, virtuous women right here in the building. So, ladies and gentlemen, beginning with the one on my left, let's get to hear her name. I would love to introduce them, personally, but no. I just want to give them the opportunity to do that themselves.
All right, my name is Esther. Yeah.
Esther, baby. Esther, you're welcome. Trust you're good.
Yeah, I'm definitely.
All right, and
good.
next to Esther.
My name is Patience.
Yeah.
I am Abelu Anthony.
Of course.
From Sisterhood and Self.
Definitely. And of course, right here with me is...
I did shame.
You're supposed to say shame because your people, you left your people.
I'm so sorry. I'm back, guys. You guys, pardon my voice. I have a few. Oh, it's Lucy here, your radio goddess.
All right, guys. So, the radio goddess is right here in the building with me, and so is Esther, baby, and also Patience from the Sisterhood. Yeah, Sisterhood and Self. Gallant day. Anyways, in absence of one of our dear beautiful lady, we're giving her a shout out whatever it is, because
shout
of course
out.
she's actually on an assignment, so we do understand that, but she might be joining us, she might not be joining us, depending on how it goes. So ladies and gentlemen, you are welcome once again to the 100% Woman. Well, and today we will be looking at life choices and family. We know that this particular topic is one to actually ponder on, one to discuss about as ladies. The choices we make in life determines the outcome of our decisions, and also how we live our lives and how it shapes us as women. So today we're looking at life choices and family. But then, when it comes to life choices, it could be career paths, it could be friendship, it could be you setting boundaries, it could be your health, you taking care of your health. It could be marriage, yes, marriage. It could be financial, habits, and also, yes, financial decisions and so on and so forth. So, ladies and gentlemen, beginning, we will actually want to start talking about, the modern women, balancing life choices and also family realities. Beginning with, let's talk about career and timing. There are certain times where we get to sit down and navigate life with our decisions, and we get to say, okay, I want to become this person at so age, I want to be this particular person, this particular woman, I want to be this big person at so year, and then we tend to try to put ourselves into that purpose, into that process. Yes, into that process, we try to tell ourselves, okay, these are the steps that we should take in becoming who we want to be in life, and we try as much as possible to follow that boxes by taking everything judiciously. Now, if we are talking about career paths and also timing, we also know that as women are not given the opportunity, apart from recently, that women have gotten the freedom to be able to dream, but back then we've seen how most of our parents struggled to actually, attain a particular height, to forward their education, to forge ahead and become who they want to be. And sometimes most of the women have to, give up their career, give up their life for their children, and also for family, and also for their husbands. But then this particular generation, we've seen how women are trying to break out from stereotypes and also try to build themselves to become who they are supposed to be and who they are meant to be, apart from just being in the kitchen. Just like, you know, the men used to say you are meant to be in the kitchen. Well, I don't think a woman life is just tied down to the kitchen, but we have a lot to offer as women. We are helpmeet, and at the same time we provide solution where need be. So talking about career paths, first of all, I would love to ask the challenges, right, we ladies face when it comes to career paths. Choosing a career path, I know that it is one thing on its own, but then having the right to choose to actually have a career is also one thing to discuss about. So I would love to know, was it really a challenge for you as a lady, you know, when it comes to career paths, where you're given the opportunity as a lady to actually go for what you want to, you know, to do in life? So probably maybe I would love to hear from you, Patience. Let's start with you. What do you have to say about this? Was there any point in time that you found it so difficult, or was there any, you know, challenges of you picking up a career path?
First off, I would like to appreciate my parents for being people who loved education, people who wanted to see that they are able to do the things that they didn't really get. Now, my father comes from a family where literally he's like the only person that has gone as far as he is education wise. So I think because of that exposure, it made that that desire was built in him to ensure that his children are able to do as much as he did or more. So despite the fact that my elder sister, both of us, we are ladies in the beginning before my younger brother came, and he didn't really feel that he needed to hold us back, and he just allowed us to go forward. Now, choosing what to read in school, of course, Nigeria happened to us. I'm not a graduate of the course I wanted to do in school. So initially, I think in the beginning, because I would say I didn't have the awareness of understanding how to pick a career path and how to know what to do at the point where I did. So my dad literally made the decision for me for the course to go and read, despite the fact that, okay, it sounded like something I was excited to do. I didn't really even get it at the end of the day. So I ended up doing what I did. As well as after doing that, I'm currently in the career path of, it's not what I read in school that I am doing now. Well, that's why I said Nigeria happened to us. So I didn't feel restricted. My parents did not restrict me to all of the things I did. Even when the course that I was given came, my dad encouraged me to just go. You don't know what God is trying to build. You know, all of those stuff that they will do for us, whether they have an idea or they don't have an idea, just to encourage you to go. And then I went to school and finished, and currently doing my master's in that same course, though I got a job in the middle of doing master's before, which is not really in alignment, though not really out of it, but it's not really what I read in school. But it's been fun, yeah. And then one of the things that I have faced along the career is that this women bias. You know, when you, especially you mentioned how that, I know things are changing literally, but still we still have people with those stereotyping mindsets, especially from the opposite gender, that always feel like, and it could be that they are coming from where they do not have strong, independent, powerful women, so they don't really see, they are not coming from where they've experienced that, and then they see you're small and you're young, and then you're being in, you know, now you can see someone who just finished uni at 24, 23, and just ends up doing something that somebody that has been in that career path for years, before you got to that point, he has maybe served for 15, 20 years, and you are just coming, and because of your level of education and what you have, you're able to just jump into that level. Like the person started from level 1, and then you come, because of your level of education, you are jumping to level 6 or 7. So naturally, the person feels envious, and before you know it, they begin to treat you, maybe say some things to you and all of that. I have faced that, yeah, but coming from my parents, I didn't really have any restriction picking. Even when this job came, I felt like it wasn't what I read and all, but my dad supported me and told me that I could do anything I put my mind to do, and honestly, it's been fun. It's been fun so far.
All right, that's actually amazing. Esther, baby, I don't know, you are actually, a student right now, and currently you're a student, and we would love to know about your own challenges when it comes to career path. Was there any challenge at all? Did you face any, discrimination, or did your parents say, "Oh, don't study this particular course, study this particular one"? Because we do have parents that you tell you don't do this.
I feel like your strengths cannot.
So, was there any point that you had to, struggle with your parents on career path?
All right, talking about challenges. Well, I have parents that are really encouraging.
Okay.
Yeah, they give support both financially and otherwise. Yeah. So my career choice, that question touched because initially the course I wanted studying was not what I got.
Nigeria.
But then when I started, I think I had already gone 100 level, already going to 200 level, and then my dad was like, okay, he sent me money. I say, yes, I've seen it, thank you, sir. I thought it was for food, and then he just told me, okay, they've started registering for JAM, you go and register. I told him that, well, I understand where he's coming from. I love the fact that he's encouraging me to do what I want. But then I have gone this path. Let me just continue and face it instead of just going back to start again. And I don't think I regret going for this one. I'm really enjoying it.
Okay, interesting. Nice one. Okay, Lucy, we'd love to hear from you. Your own challenges. I know you have challenge because I remember the course that you studied was not what you wanted initially, but then life happened, and just like you said, Nigeria happened.
Well, for me, I would say the course I wanted to study was not offered in the school. And then our parents now don't go far. I was still like very, very small.
Yeah.
I was tiny. So I had to just go with the school. I went to Castle, and my dad advised me, God bless his soul.
Yeah.
So I went for mass communication. Right, but then after I finished, they were very supportive, like really, really supportive. So when I was done, I don't know, I did not want a 9 to 5, and nobody said no, you have to, and all of that. They supported me. I told them what I wanted to do. I went for event planning, and till today they are still behind me and still supporting me. Even though my mom, every day she could shout, "That can't change nothing. That can't change nothing." But
it's another.
I mean, it is what it is.
All right. Asking these questions, I would actually love to say something. Anyways, first of all, kudos to my parents. A big shout out to them. But as the first child of a medical personnel, my dad, I remember secondary school, first of all, from the initial stage, I actually wanted to study in accounting. And growing up, everyone was like, this one, she said she had money, she wanted the account too. So everybody had the money. I wanted to become an accountant. I wanted to become an accountant, and so getting to, I think, SS2, I dropped accounting. And I just went for geography instead, because the accounting teacher back then was so confusing that you were asking him questions, he would tell you, go and ask your parents.
I don't understand.
Yeah, it actually happened.
Why
exactly, you ask questions, why are you paying school fees? But then he said that to me, and that was why I dropped the course. And getting to SS3, I never studied literature. I never studied literature. And I was like, okay, I actually love the radio because I love listening to radio. I love it. Sometimes in the morning I listen to, Oga Driver, our Ava Oga Driver, of course. So yes, and I listen to a lot of programs on radio. And I was like, what kind of course will I study
to be able to
to be able to do this, to be a radio presenter? And I made my research and I realized that I will be needing literature. My dear, WAEC was just, I think, 3 weeks. It was 3 weeks to WAEC. I had to go look for all the books that they read.
Wow.
I had to look for notebooks. I read literature. I never attended the class, and so kind of God towards my life. And all this while, my parents never knew I changed my mind.
Wow.
And even before changing my mind, my dad wanted me to be a science student. I remember how we went back and forth on that conversation. And, I literally wrote a letter and I told him, Dad, I don't know how I did it. Anytime I remember that particular letter, it's so funny because in that letter, I remember one particular line. I said, Dad, my brain was not carved to be a science student. And I'm like, how did I get to think about that I was telling my dad that my brain was not carved to be a science student? And I was very good with maths. That was his problem. I was good with maths, so why don't I want to go for science? And then that was not what I wanted, but he didn't really pressure me. We just had a conversation, and I had to apologize and say, Dad, my brain was not carved to be a science student. Everyone has a part of his own. Don't worry, probably my siblings will take up your line of work. And well, he actually supported me, because if he didn't support me, I would not be here.
You will not be here.
I wouldn't be here. So yes, he supported me. My mom supported me. All of them did. And when I applied, mass comm, CASU, straight up, they gave me the course, and here I am today. And sometimes when we're having a banter at home, because my dad is full of savage response, he'll be like, you disappoint me. You for don't they take over my career. Now it's just that banter, but then regardless, he's still proud of me, because I remember when I came back from service, my dad literally raised me up, and everyone was like, oh, now father and daughter celebration. Kudos to my dad. He did an amazing job raising us. And when it comes to education, my dad doesn't joke with education. Like he doesn't joke around when it comes to education. If you want to eat my father's money, just tell him, Daddy, they say we should bring so and so money in school. He will give you the money, because he doesn't want his child to suffer. And just like you said, that your dad is one of the person that has gotten to this stage when it comes to education. Same thing with my dad, because my dad is also one of the persons that have gotten to the height that he is when it comes to education, and then he wants his own children to also do better than he is. So yes, when it comes to education,
Twirly for Papa.
That one, they take time and so you just say, okay, this is it, so you can go for it. So yes, we all have faced one challenge or the other, but then let's look at career path and also our own future as ladies. You know that when it comes to society, people will tell you, this career thing that you are carrying, it will delay. You understand? You go still end for my house, and you will end up probably, leaving that job of yours that you are doing. Now, this is where I'm coming from. Where I'm coming to, because see, it's actually a lot, and a lot of women cannot harness the fact that. So after going to school, after building a career path, I end up with a man, and this man tells me, I don't want you to work anymore. So my question is, I don't want to say if you find yourself in that situation, because
how do we deal with it?
How do we deal with this? And then when we eventually get to meet someone that we want to settle down with, how do we navigate this career issue? How do we talk? Because I know that there are partners that will support you, and also there are partners that do not want their women to work. So I actually have a problem, with that. If you don't want your woman to work, do not get married to a career woman. I always say that. I always say that to men that want women that will just be sitting at home and taking care of the children. So I don't know, when it gets to this particular, because society will talk, and then it's also a way of, some people will tell you that it's a delay in marriage. They tell you, you're pushing, you are forwarding, you're going forward, you're pushing forward, you're forging ahead, you're going to schools and the rest. And society, how do we do with society and career path? I don't know if you want to say something.
Okay, you're going first.
Okay, go first.
Okay, so this particular thing, I've seen it on the internet like countless times. I saw a lady saying that she was single at the time. She was single.
Yeah.
She was staying with her brother. That it's not okay for a lady to have an apartment.
True.
Before getting married.
Yeah.
And then so many achievements and stuff that you're pursuing suitors away.
Yeah.
I don't understand it. Like, it doesn't sit well with me because man no come, make I no work. Like, I should not move forward. Let me not do the things that I want to do because I am waiting for a man. Don't get me wrong. I know that to some people, or generally, and concerning society, marriage is an achievement, right?
True.
But sitting to wait for it, what if it doesn't come?
Exactly.
You're going to die hungry or what? I don't understand. So she was saying it. I was pissed because this is the stereotyping we're talking about.
Yeah.
Like, it has to do with a man. Everything you want to do, it has to be a man. I'm saying that so many restaurants now say if they come out, they will tell you no, you have to come with a man. Like, why?
Yeah.
Because they are what? The spenders. It doesn't sit well with me, to be honest. So if I find myself in that situation, you knowing that I love to work or I am a career woman, and then you're coming to, I don't think we're even going to get to that point where we get married and then you're trying to tell me to stop going to work because of children. No, we're not going to get to that point. We have to talk about it before we get to that point. Like, if you don't want a career woman, you go for somebody
For one that is not interested.
Yes, like, So why? I feel it's wickedness.
Yeah.
But
Very, very wicked. Very wicked. Yeah. I think, okay. So I feel like I have a lot to say.
Please.
So I'm trying.
Unleash.
You know, I like this kind of talk.
Yeah,
because
I unleash.
for some reason, I have experienced a lot of comments. I have literally had comments from people that I didn't really expect it. And sometimes, as much as we try to look like we are very exposed and we know the two saying this thing, sometimes it gets to you when maybe your immediate friend is getting married and everybody has always seen you two together and all of that, and then suddenly you begin to realize that the ladies in your circle are getting married and all. I remember uni then, I think all of the female friends I had in uni, they're all married now and they have children. You get, so all of that happens. It was just recently I've been trying to learn how to drive for like 5 years now, and for some reason we have cars in the house, but there is always this restriction somehow, and I'm not able to find myself on the road the way I want to be on the road. You get, then someone made a comment, somebody very important to me that I didn't expect that comment from him, told me that the reason why the restrictions are like that is because as a northern lady, somebody from Ariwa, that is actually it doesn't paint a good picture for a suitor to see you driving a car, especially if it is an expensive car or a good car, that it drives the men away from you. And the way that talk entered my heart, I told myself that every day I will carry that car and go out, even if I don't have a driver's license. I will do it stubbornly. Anybody that is going to say I was not stubborn when I was small, it's not that I am stubborn about this thing, and by God's grace I've been able to find my, sometimes I just pick the car and drive to town and go back home. Like, I have been able to. So this thing is happening. It's not as well as we keep. Sometimes it's not even the man that is thinking, it's the people around him. When he maybe brings you home, and family, especially now that we can enter any sector, you can find that among 10 guys that are asking you out, about 8 of them you are earning more than them. It's happening now, and it's no longer so. We are coming out, and is because it's not something that is really being accepted now for a woman. It's something that has been ongoing. So it's going to take us years to actually break this down. That's why I'm so glad that we are having discussions like this. We are going to build families and impute these things into our children, our female children, how that they shouldn't allow themselves feel little, because they shouldn't allow themselves feel like they cannot become what they want to be in order for them to get a man to marry them. Any man that is not willing to accept them for who they are, he should carry his things and go. That was the statement I told the person that told me that. I said, I'm not looking for a man that is intimidated with the fact that I'm driving a car. I don't even want him. I'm not looking for that man. I want somebody that is willing to support me. I might be on the stage doing things and he's not on the stage, but he's proudly saying that that is my wife because he's not on the stage, but I am on it. So I'm not looking for somebody that I don't. If that is, he should. I rather stay single. You understand? Because I did not believe that God created us. As much as God supports marriage and Christianity support, every religion supports marriage. That's not, at the end of the day, God is not going to ask you, who did you get married to? Who did you give birth to? God is going to ask you if you came on earth and fulfilled the purpose why he called you on earth to do. So if that purpose for you means that you should be dependent on a man, that is your choice. Now, I'm also going to talk about the fact that for women that feel like they are being called to be at home and be nurturers. That's totally okay. The point I'm making is do not allow your decision to be influenced by people that do not even know who you are or who you are becoming. Allow yourself to make the decision. Of course, who doesn't want to have a man that will just come and be providing for you and be chilling and you understand? We want the baby girl treatment, yes, but it should be my decision to decide if I do not want to
work or not.
So that's all I have to say.
Esther, baby, do you have something to say on this?
Well, when I was hearing, I finished secondary school and I was like, I want to work. It was whole drama in my house because my dad was against it like that. That why would you want to work? Is it that the money is not enough? In short, what I did was I just went out that day quietly. I wrote a letter. I went and submitted to one school. I went to like 3 schools or so, and then I got feedback. I think after 2 days or so, I got feedback. I did not tell him. I just kept quiet. I went. I resumed. I did everything. When I came back, and I told him that okay. I got a job and I have resumed. He was like, in short, I was thinking he'll be like, I thought I told you not to.
At that point, he resumed already.
He just told me that means you'll be collecting salary at the end of the month. That was all. I was able to take my decision. I didn't allow him to influence me like that. So if you actually want to be a career woman, I think you should take a stand. Don't allow yourself to be influenced by another person's decision. I think that's
because what's the worst that will happen? You get rejected, you try again.
Yeah, actually, I've heard you guys on. I just feel as you guys were, picking some stuff that happened to me, and it's more like, we all can relate. And so talking about, this career and also society, just like I know in our last discussion, I remember when I said that my uncle said that my dad was wasting money on female education. Children, and I remember, career path and the rest, and we're having a discussion with someone, just like you said that you were not expecting that particular person to say what he said to you, and I said I actually want to further. That was even after a normal MSc, normal degree. I said I want to further, I want to have my master's, and the person was looking at me. I'm like, is there anything wrong? He said, you are pursuing suitors. And I look at the person and I said, pursuing suitors because I want to forge. And degree now is like secondary school certificate.
You can't. Oh God.
Degree. You having a degree now is like secondary school certificate. And if you don't forge ahead, there are a lot of professions out there that they look at your qualifications, your educational background. They look at where you have actually placed yourself before giving you a position in their company. And then when it comes to me as a personal person, I actually wanted being a doctor. Having that PhD. I actually want it. Something that I actually want for myself, you understand? And then talking to someone, the person was like, you will not marry quick. And then I said to the person, I said, if at all it is because of my educational background that will make me not to get married, so be it. But I will not stoop so low because someone else is afraid of being with me because of my decisions to actually, better my life. if you are meant for me, you will come. If you are not meant for me, you will not even bother coming. And I actually used to ask questions, you know, when a man comes to me and he wants to talk to me and he starts talking about, oh, I would love to get married to you. I asked that person one question. I said, when it comes to career path, what is your stand? And also, apart from the career path, hope you're not the type of person that when your wife is doing better than you start trying to
bring her
oppress
down.
her, bring her down, or say demeaning words just to break her confidence, because I'm not that type of person. And if you think you know, you cannot deal with someone that is so bold and confident in themselves, then I don't think you and I will work. And funny enough, whenever I say stuff like that, they don't come.
You don't.
back.
True. Very true.
It's actually funny that you don't get to come back. And I'm like, you can't suppress me, because I still have passion for myself. I have goals. I have boxes that I'm still yet to tick. So as a lady, I don't want to look at the fact that, oh, I am actually subjected to a man. No, I know that, yes, submission is there.
Very important.
And I would submit to you.
Yes.
Because, of course, my parents have been living peacefully. Yeah. I'm not going to say that there's no up and down. Of course, every marriage has you know, their hurdles, and they try as much as possible to, you know, cross that bridge. But then, I actually want a happy home. And I don't want to make mistake. Marriage is an institution of whereby me, I see it as a do or die affair.
It's a lifetime journey.
Exactly. To me, it's a lifetime journey. I don't want a situation whereby you tell me I'm not doing again. I don't want that for myself. So I'm being careful when it comes to picking, or when it gets to settling down for a man. So if you are that particular person that is scared of having, you know, uncomfortable conversations, you and I will not sit
at all.
If I cannot confront you and tell you what you did was wrong, you find a problem with me being a lady telling you that what you did was wrong, then there will never be peace between you and I. There's going to be, you know, a built up anger that will be in me if I don't get to express myself, and I might end up hating you as a person.
Getting frustrated.
Do you understand? So I think it's, you know, preferable when we actually, you know, decide what we want without the influence of people, and you can actually do better with that without making someone feel as if they have power over us. And talking about, as I mentioned about she, you know, going to work, she got a job without saying anything. Well, I remember that same uncle of mine. I was telling my mom, I finished you know, secondary school. I was running my NCE program at that particular time, and I got the opportunity to look for a job, and I'm like, come on, I've gotten to that stage where I can also, you know, take care of myself. I cannot be asking my dad for pad. Okay, daddy, I want to buy pad. Okay, I want to buy pants. So my inner wears is, you understand? So I wanted to actually do something for myself, and then I went in search of a job, and my uncle came. So this life, man. Uncles, some wicked uncles. My uncle came to the house. I told my dad that if you allowed her to actually start earning money, she'll be stubborn. I don't understand. Why they go school? Why is my dad sponsoring me in school? And my dad said everyone has a part, and I think that was when he rebuked him that he should never ever come to his house and say something so demeaning about his children, because these are his kids and he would treat them the way he deemed fit. And I think ever since then, there was no discussion about us again. And I so much respect the fact that my dad was able to stand by us and also stand for me. So when it comes to, you know, life choices, career paths, we all have a choice to make, and we should also stand firm. And when we're talking about standing firm and taking risk, when I was going for, you know, service in Calabar, my dad was like, are you sure you are going to Calabar? Are you not going to look for a way to stay in Kaduna? I said, Dad, nursery school, Kaduna. Primary school, Kaduna. Secondary school, Kaduna. University, Kaduna. You still want to serve for Kaduna. I said, I need to go out there to explore. I need to go and learn different lifestyles. I want to actually, because what I studied it has a lot of departments, a lot of things that I can actually learn. There's a lot to learn when it comes to mass communication. It's not just me going to sit down in a radio house and just talk to people and that's it. No, there's a lot when it comes to mass communication. And then when I went out, I had a very broad knowledge of what the media space was all about. And then coming back to Kaduna, I'm like, okay, I've learned a lot, and I can still impute that into my own way of presenting, and it has been helping me. And I've found out that okay, I'm actually doing good. I don't have to copy some person's style of presenting. And before I know that, okay, I've arrived. So yes, stand by your decision. Make sure that this is what you want to do, and make sure that you are ready to do it. Don't say I want to do this and you're folding your arms, and then
maybe you're saying it because you see somebody doing it. You don't
understand? In as much as you've made up your mind that this is what you want, prove yourself wrong. I'm not saying prove yourself right. I'm not saying you should prove anybody right. No, you're in a competition with yourself. You're in a competition with yourself. So fight for yourself. Do what you have to do to make sure that you place yourself high above your limits. Go beyond your limits. That's what I would say. So yes, if you're listening to us this very moment, when it comes to life choices and family, yes, we respect family, but then we also love ourselves. We also want to do better for ourselves, because there are women out there that have forgotten totally who they are. They are forgotten that okay, this is me. I have always wanted to be this person. But then getting marriage swallowed them up, swallowed up their dreams, and then they are now a shadow of themselves. So we do hope that if you're listening to us, even as a man, you give your wife an opportunity to fly. Let her spread her wings and fly. Leadership is all about listening, it's all about guiding, and it's all about directing and trusting your partner. But if you want to be a dictator, you will end up instilling fear and silence.
Marriage is not even for you.
Exactly.
Marriage is not for
I will urge you out there not to be a dictator, but then be a leader. A leader who listens with empathy. A leader who uses chooses empathy over control. And chooses compassion over command. True. So if you're listening this very moment, I do hope that we are sending a message to you.
Yes. So,
ladies and gentlemen, I want to believe that you've enjoyed this conversation so far on Royal FM 93.3. Now we've been discussing about life choices and family, and we've discussed a lot. Career paths, marriage, we've discussed okay, we wanted to talk about financial stuff, but we will not be talking about that because that will be a topic on its own. So talking about friendship and also boundaries. Friendship and boundaries, because there are some friendship that either build us or destroy us as individuals. So now we actually want to know how healthy friendships help women balance work, motherhood, personal life. I know none of us for here don't marry, but it's we're actually aspiring to be mothers.
We have friends
that are married. So how has friendship help us to balance our life as colleagues, workers, mothers, personal identity, and you choosing to be you instead of being influenced by your friend or the people around you. So let me start with Esther, baby. Esther, I know you have friends. And probably you might have dropped some friends. So we'd love to know how has friendship, influenced you as a person, and also shape you, when it comes to your life choices and your identity.
Okay. Well, actually, I have. In short, some of my mates are married. Like, in short, when I was in school, I just saw wedding card. I was like, this one is getting married. I don't understand. I was shocked like that. But then I didn't allow it to overwhelm me like that. I was like, well, I'm happy for her like that. It's her choice, and then she got someone. That's why she's getting married. And then friendship, like, okay, I have a friend now, like we're very, very close. There are some personal decisions I've taken as a result of the friend I have now, because then anything I have I used to spend. Like, I don't used to save. Like, there's this thing I used to say, now who get life, now who eats they live. Now who eats they live. Like, I just had it in my mind, now who eats they live. So any money that I have, I spend it. I will eat. Like,
Oh, na person wey live na dey chop tomorrow. Na dey feel safe.
But no be so.
If you're safe, no saving, na wetin go save you.
Honestly, but then the friends around me, to some extent, built some morals in me. I knew that, okay, it's not every kobo that comes in you spend. It's not every time you need money you be like, I need money, or you start begging and stuff like that, and then all those stuff. But then friends sometimes can make us to do some weird things, because there's this one of my friend, once she knows I have money like this, that shop
Shopping time.
You must wash.
we must.
I'm telling you.
So seriously,
Very good.
friendship
Very
helps
important.
very well. Like,
Healthy ones.
It can be positive and it could also be negative. But then you just be wise in making and keeping good friends. I think that's all what I can say about it. Yeah.
I think I used to say most of the time that God has given us a privilege to choose one thing. We don't get to choose our families, we don't get to choose our siblings, we don't get to choose our relatives, but you see friends down to your partner, you have that liberty to choose them. So if you have certain principles that you live by, be very dogmatic about it. These are the kind of friends I want in my circle. Whether it's offending somebody else, it's your life and it's your purpose you are looking at. So healthy friendships are supposed to help build you. If healthy friendships are making you lose yourself, if friendships are making you lose yourself, then it's not healthy and it's not for you. If you are someone that is about growth, your friends should be about growth too. If you are somebody that wants to be focused, let's say for example you are someone who wants to just be around, you are someone who is in a medical line, for example. For some reason, most of the people around you, if they are not in that line, they will be people that support that line. Not that you are now with somebody that you are people that you have to start explaining to them why you don't spend on weekends like they do, why you don't spend on birthdays like they do. Why? Because maybe you have
You borrow
you have siblings that are dependent on you. Maybe you have family, maybe your parents are dependent on you, but they don't have that kind of dependency on them, and they can do. So you have to be very careful with the kind of friends you make, and the kind of friends you make will be the ones that will be able to help, because most of the decisions we make, honestly, it's not by ourselves. Down to the person you want to date. It's not. Sometimes you want to hear what your friend thinks about it. So if your friend is not somebody that sees like you see, she can give you an idea that would destroy you at the end of the day, and you cannot come back and blame her because she did not force you into it, but she advised you. Okay, so having healthy friendships is very important. It will help you in balancing your life, balancing work also. Sometimes, like I said, most of the decisions we make, down to the kind of job you want to take, career path, you always want to hear what your friends think. You always want to hear what your friends think. So also it is when it comes down to getting married. If eventually you marry earlier than some of your friends, you have to be certain that you have friends that are not it's normal to be jealous, because jealousy is something that happens and you just let it go. But you see envy. If it gets to envy and it graduates into wrath, that person can kill you. You understand? Exactly. and it's very these are things that happen in female friendships. That was why I mentioned in one of our episodes that is one of the reasons that just stirred us into starting Sisterhood and Self, because you don't really find genuine friendship that lasts for years. You only find people. That's why you hear a lot of us say that it's easier to make friends with the guys than make friends with ladies, because there's always, because ladies are emotional people. It's easier for you to just bring in emotion into to anything. So you have to be very deliberate with the kind of friends and the kind of friend. Ensure that your friendship is healthy. Your friends are helping to build you. Your friends, when they hear that maybe you've done something, they should be able to tell you that you have messed up. They should be able to tell you that this is tell you the truth, not try to beautify whatever it is that has happened, so that you don't feel like they are insulting you. They should be able to tell you what is black and what is white, and be able so when you get that kind of friendship, you eventually find that every aspect of your life finds balance. Your work life finds balance. If you eventually get married, you have children, they should be able to, even when you bring marriage issues to them, even as single friends, they should be able to tell you something that would help you work on your marriage. Not tell you that kind of. So we have to really be deliberate about building our friendships.
She has said everything now.
She has said everything.
Honestly, because let me not lie, friendship has, for me, I don't keep friends like that. But like the ones I have, like I'm really grateful to God. Because when I was in school, let me not lie, Castle stressed me. They stressed me. I was every day, that's how I could just turn. I would say, I know they do again, I beg. Like, man, just they go out.
Yeah.
That's how they go on me. You they crazy. Like, all of us want to go to school. You are what? No, you have to.
You have to.
It's either you go to school or you leave the circle. And I don't want to leave the circle.
Yeah.
So I just had to, like, stick to it. Those are, like, healthy friendships. Some people don't tell me, go, me if I don't tire.
Yes, so
let's not do
after all, life is not.
You get
it.
Thank you. But like because of what they told me, because I'm very honest, if they had not said those things, if they had not threatened me, I was even telling one girl that my friends don't like me. See what I want to do, they are not supporting me. You get, but like see where I am today.
Yeah.
So I'm like really grateful for friendship. Honestly.
Yeah. Very, very true.
So when I don't finish talk. anyways, friendship. Well, thank God for good friends. Thank God for genuine friends. Sometimes when you do something, they will tell you, oh, girl, this thing that you did, it's not proper. It's not nice at all. I fix it. If there's something you fix. They tell you if there's something you cannot fix, they tell you now you've learned your lessons and you can do better. So when it comes to choices of being with a man, a partner, and they'll be like, this person that you have been with, this person,
clear.
you go there and say, I love the shit.
I love they
blinds me. You go do. You chop breakfast.
You still come back to them,
my dear. You still come back to them, but then come on, good friends, will actually stand by you and also advise you to do the right thing, and not just encourage your bad behavior or just overlook what you're doing without them being truthful to the situation. And I'm still talking about friendship and boundaries. Now, there's a way we can actually set boundaries without feeling guilty.
Yeah. And without being offensive. Exactly. Being you, choosing your me time, staying away. If the whole clique are preparing to go and have fun and then you don't feel like going out, I don't think people should start getting angry. I'm beginning to learn that you don't get mad when someone tells you that, oh, I'm no longer I don't feel like going out today, I'm feeling some type of way. Respect that person, because before I used to get pissed. Let me be honest, I used to get pissed. I do get pissed, but I'm like, we've been planning this for days or months. You understand? We're planning this for months, and all of a sudden, now backing out. Why? It doesn't make sense. And sometimes we might not realize that this person might be going through something at that particular point. It could be a financial issue, and they don't really want to talk about. They don't want to open up at that moment. And sometimes we intrude without asking questions, which was actually wrong of me. And I'm actually trying to make things right now by understanding that yes, the fact that we are friends doesn't mean that we should not have our own alone time or me time. Doesn't mean that if we plan to go out together and then something happen, doesn't mean I cannot back out, stuff like that. So I need to start understanding people. But the truth is, if the person is actually saying something, what I would prefer is you coming to tell us beforehand that I don't think I'll be able to make it. Don't allow it to be to that D-Day. Then you say, oh man, I know they go again. No. That looks insensitive.
And then you understand, and then they tell you what happened, you say nothing.
That's really
Do you,
insensitive.
do you understand?
That's-
And then you
that
say
feels
nothing.
insensitive.
So then, when it comes to setting boundaries, friendship, yes, and setting boundaries, I do understand that we need to set boundaries. Our no should be no.
And our yes.
And our yes should be yes. And we should stick to our decisions, whatever it is that we have made it up in our mind that okay, this is the final say. We should stick by it. We should not, mince our words. We should not go back and forth and be confusing people around us, because people will not trust us anymore. They will not trust our words anymore. Yes, if our boundaries are not clear, exactly. So set healthy boundaries, and still respect the people you call friends. Do not be rude to them. In as much as you are being blunt, be mindful of how blunt you can be.
Exactly.
Because there is a thin line between being blunt and being arrogant and being rude. You understand?
And even
At the moment, yes. At that
we
moment,
always hide behind that. I'm a straightforward person. I say what's on my mind, and you just you become very rude to people, and they are your friends.
Sometimes what you're saying is nice,
yes, but the way you say it, yes,
and even the way you say it,
that sounds very, very. So talking about boundaries, I'm going to just touch these little places that I think ladies should respect boundaries. You see relationships sometimes, because maybe the relationship started in your very before eyes, you feel like you can just ask about what's going on, like just intrude into your friend's relationship, and just you want to know what is going on even when they don't come and open up to you. Because we ought to also be very sensitive to understanding when boundaries are being set. Sometimes she might be setting boundaries, but you are not getting that she's setting boundaries for you at that time. And also, like, for things as simple as wearing each other's clothes, there are ladies that do not like it. There are ladies that feel like it's normal. There are ladies that like to like fat in public and feel like it's just normal. And maybe your friends that is not normal thing for them. So these are daily boundaries that friends like to put, that some friends don't get, because we feel like now and all of that. We should be able to, as good friends, be able to know when a boundary is being set, not just setting the boundary ourselves, but when she's setting the boundary, I should be able to understand that a boundary is being set and accept that this boundary. There are ladies that don't want any of their relationship matter to concern you. If she has made it clear like that, allow her. You don't have to know what is going on if they are not willing to. And it doesn't mean she's a bad person. It just means that so also when they get married, some of them will get married and they don't want you to be around them, and she might be someone that turns up for you in times of need and all of that, but on that level, she doesn't want. Accept it and do not make it become an issue. If you're not someone that feel like it's normal to set boundaries, if you get married, that's your choice. It's not her choice. So when she sets boundaries, accept it like that. When she sets boundaries for hobbies, interests, and you're not okay, accept. That's what friendship is about. You're not looking for who you are in that person. You're looking for how you can work with that person as they are.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, it has been a whole lot of time right here spent on Real FM 3.3 Kaduna, and of course, we've had a lengthy conversation, one that touches the heart, one that you should be jotting things down, like Josh, Josh too funny, we say jot things down. All right, just in time where we get to round up the segment, one line of advice to someone, that particular beautiful person, that special person listening to us this moment. What would you say to that person?
All right. Last words. Just make your choices. Don't let people make your own choices for you.
Okay.
Women have very good instincts, so trust your instinct in making life choices, and I believe that your instinct will hardly lead you wrong.
Never fails.
That's one thing I know. Women have very strong instincts, so if your instinct is telling you do this, go for it.
Well, I've said this before, I'll keep saying it. wherever you are today, make sure that when we're meeting next or anybody's meeting you next, you are different.
Better.
And what I mean by different is you are better, you are bigger, you are bolder, you are doing something great for yourself.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, you've heard these beautiful ladies and you've heard their, advice to you. Well, from me to you, I'll tell you, choose the right circle. Make sure that you choose the right circle, because the circle you make either makes you or break you. And remember that, your life choices matters the most. So, ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for choosing Royal FM. Thank you for listening to us. Thank you for always vibing and riding with us on the 100% Woman, and of course the Sisterhood and South. Remember that the choices you make today will actually make you to be the beautiful woman that you want to be tomorrow. So have an amazing afternoon and enjoy the rest of the week.
Bye.